You know, as a dad, I do have a little hope that she won't have her mother's height.
Why do we even bother with this vlogging thing? Well, let's be real. Making videos takes a ton of effort. If you're just doing it for fun and memories, it's not that bad. But let's face it, YouTube is a jungle out there. Millions of people are trying to make it big, and it's tough to stand out. 6 years ago, Jay had this crazy idea of moving to the Philippines and starting a new life.
Coming straight at you from Cebu City. This place is amazing. I cannot tell you how much fun it's going to be vlogging. I've already met some great people, just walking around. It's just, there's so much to take in, so many things to see. Whew, I just hope I got the energy to run around this whole place.
He thought he had it all figured out, but life had other plans. Vlogging for him was always in the back of his mind, but it was not a top priority. The Philippines changed his life in so many ways, and it actually helped him see the value in vlogging. Let's dive into the good stuff and figure out why he's so into it now.
Want to join the adventure? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell.
Hi, we are in Manila. Don't dunk her.
You know, a lot of times making these videos to a lot of people, it's really silly. Another YouTuber, you know, the thing is, it's just silliness. A bunch of grown people trying to pretend that, you know, we're trying to emulate things that we've seen on TV, trying to pretend that we can do this without being nervous. We're coming off really confident in ourselves, and we're going to vlog about something today. But when you're vlogging about the Philippines, I'm sure there's many things that would fall in the same category, but there is an entire segment of people out there who take what they hear and see about the Philippines very seriously. And it does come with some responsibility, unless you want to be attacked, of course. So when you talk about the Philippines and you want to do any vlogging about the Philippines, it's a really fine line between being liked and being very disliked. It's important not to be too obvious with your intentions, what you're doing, and trying to be fake. You want to come across as authentic and have a real point to why you're even making vlogs in the first place. You know, when I started doing this 6 years ago, or my intentions 6 years ago to do this, it was to do the new foreigner in the country having fun and just vlog the life. You know, I've said this part many times. But then you have a baby unexpectedly, and that changes everything. None of those videos would make sense anymore, doing them that way.
We're here in IT Park.
A whole new thing has to happen. And now you have to represent things differently. Before, my audience wouldn't have been probably that many Filipinos. I don't even know if I thought about what the audience would be at that time, but I can't imagine many of the Filipinos liking my channel as much as the foreign guys would have liked it. I would have been showing what I'm doing and experiencing, and I would have shown some places that maybe Filipinos would have liked, but it would have been more for the foreigner, I would imagine. Kind of like you see now when you see single vloggers running around the Philippines. Most of it is for the foreigner audience. But when you have a child and you want to talk about the Philippines, you have to be sure of what you want to talk about. You can't just make up too much of it because it could really look bad. And how do you want to present yourself? Because people are very judgmental in today's world. You make one bad video, you make something up and you start talking about it. Maybe you didn't even put any thought into it. You just wanted to make some content, get something out there. Well, that might be the only video somebody ever sees of you, is that one little bit of content. And it doesn't go well. They're not going to like you. They're going to leave a comment and leave and not come back because they saw one video. I still got people that don't know that I'm in Kentucky. They don't know the situation. So every once in a while you got to do some updates. Every once in a while you got to do where are you at now stuff. And honestly, those videos don't usually do too well. The videos that do well is when you make it broad for everybody. American in the Philippines, not Jay's back in the Philippines. Here we are again. Those don't work the same way. You have to title it in a way that people who have never seen you will recognize it and may be interested in who this new American is. Oh, look, my daughter's so cute. Well, I don't care about your daughter. Well, of course not. You haven't been following, so there's no point in knowing, there's no interest there. You got to title things in a way to get somebody's interest to follow. And that's kind of takes away from the fun of why I would have vlogged in the first place. I got so many titles I would have done, things I want to talk about all the time, but I'm like, those are not trending titles. Those are titles that won't help the channel. In fact, it can hurt the channel because the algorithm is going to see that these videos don't trend very well. They don't get great analytic numbers. So none of those videos are going to do well. And then the channel won't do well because you make content consistently that don't do well. So you're stuck in a hard place having to make videos that you don't really want to make. Philippines, is it everything everybody says it is? Truth or dare, how to pick up a Filipina, all the cliche videos that everybody's made 100 times already. And if you don't make them, you're just missing out on views and growing your channel, unfortunately. So that's a really downside to the YouTube world. I don't want to make how to pick up a Filipina videos. Good Lord, all you gotta do is show up. It's not hard, but unfortunately, that's what the algorithm responds to. Budget videos, Philippines with budget videos. I've seen people do budget videos and not get 100 views. Now I've seen other very boring, uninteresting videos go 1 million just for talking about a budget. Don't make sense. I'm not into budget videos either, but what I am into are things that eventually, when the subscriber base is bigger and we get a more loyal following that sticks around and is curious about things, and I'm actually out there more often engaging, like truly I will be. This is all still just the beginning, 6 months, this ain't nothing. In YouTube world, many people take 2 or 3 years to even figure out what their channel is going to be. People start off channels all the time. You'll see channels, there's a lot of Philippine vloggers. I've seen channels for 5 years and they die. They just don't do anything anymore. Numbers are down. Same audience that was there 5 years ago ain't watching anymore. If you don't come up with new material, you're going to hit a good video every once in a while, but you don't know when and you don't know where, and it ain't because all of a sudden you made a good one. It's just the algorithm picked a video to let trend. That's the funny part about making all these things. You can't tell the difference between a 5,000 view video and a 100,000 view video. You wish it was literally the work it was put into one. If that was the case, we'd be doing well. Adlin spends a lot of time trying to make a good video, but sometimes they go and sometimes they don't.
Hey, your video sucks. It's your video.
Hey, what do you do in the Philippines? Well, right now I'm watching dodgeball. If you just make videos that are authentic to yourself, it should never really be too hard. They may not be the most popular, and sometimes you got to make videos knowing they're not going to do very well, and sometimes they may surprise you. Talking about vlogs, talking about the channel, expecting people to follow you for years when all you do is talk about kind of the same things and your daughter, you're asking a lot to ask for thousands and thousands of people to care about your daughter just to make vlogs. So you kind of got to offer something. You definitely got to be imaginative. You got to be growing. You can't just sit around doing the same thing every day. I've seen at this point probably thousands of channels. I look at numbers. I watch how these channels either grow, they get stagnant, or they die. And then it loses all its interest to want to even build a channel. So building this channel, what I was going to do when I came to the Philippines in the first place was I was going to explore and show different locations. Well, we got thousands of people doing that nowadays. So is it going to be as interesting to do that when there's a lot of people doing Sigior videos or Boracay videos or whatever island? Well, for me, it's going to be about raising my daughter, letting her see these things, letting her know the real Philippines, and taking you on that experience, vlogging it better than we do like we do now, more of a production setup, so to speak, trying to become a really good vlogger on camera, really comfortable on camera. He likes to talk. He likes to really do these videos. I really like talking about the Philippines, and not being very good at it right now, but in time, going to these islands and talking about these islands are going to be a lot of fun for me because I get to use my daughter as the background. Watching her grow up in the Philippines, watching her train. As a dad, I do have a little hope that she won't have her mother's height. She'll grow tall, be athletic. Maybe she's an athlete. Maybe I get to train with her in the Philippines for the next 15, 20 years and see what happens. Maybe she's into sports. that would be fun to take people on a ride of watching my daughter grow up in the Philippines while she does something, not just she exists, but she's actually achieving things and we're doing it together as a family. That would be fun. I would enjoy taking people on that ride, showing them what it's like. Bringing you back to Kentucky, I didn't really like that at all. I was like, no one's going to watch us in Kentucky. Kentucky is boring. I don't have a whole lot of stuff here to show anybody. But I do realize if you're just open and honest about what you're doing, there will be people who want to see it. Kentucky is my home. I've already raised a family here once. I'm not really interested in doing it again. I've done all the stuff in Kentucky that I really want to do. I got to find that spirit again to want to do it again in Kentucky. Because right now, we're going to probably stick with the Philippines for the most part.